Before we start doing the mass CMs, boys, on Leagues 5, we're going to look at the poll 83 changes that Jagex has proposed this week. This is the new poll changes now that they've done the Guardians of the Rift and the Wintertodt changes. Poll 83. Castle Wars, new player changes, and more. Here we go. Let's see how long it takes them to implement this stuff. Castle War changes. We've got Castle Wars themed world changes. Okay, so should we add reward crates? Oh, hold on. Let's actually read the blog. To make Castle Wars a bit more attractive again, we're adding Soul War style reward crates to the mix. Oh wow. Make no mistake, this loot table will be much less powerful than the one at Soul Wars, focusing on runes, ammo, and consumables, including blighted supplies rather than skilling supplies or alcohols. Damn, that's actually fucking huge. Should this change pass the poll, rewards crates will be earned using a separate point system from the existing Castle Wars tickets, so you'll still be able to fill out the collection log of yours. That is actually really cool, adding decent rewards to Castle Wars. We can't give more to the PKs, they already ruin everything. Yeah, well said by a PKer. Another bot PvP minigame coming in, I guess. Well, yes, true. I mean, it'd be less, probably less active than Soul Wars because it is less powerful than Soul Wars rewards. But if it means that bots are going to be running Castle Wars, that does mean that you're always going to find Castle Wars games. Yeah, no to bots, sure, but that also means you could use those bots to get your collection log slot. At the end of the day, sure, I agree. It's just going to mean it's going to be more bots. It does mean you can collection log slot your Castle Wars faster, but also, like, Jagex just needs to get better at focusing on their bot problem. They're going to open this up, alright? This was going to happen. Jagex is going to open up Castle Wars rewards. Bots are going to flood it, and then Jagex is going to get, like, 2 forks, and they're going to put the prongs together, and they're going to look through the prong holes. And that's going to be their fucking vision on the botting system until they decide to do fucking something about it in 2025 with their recent player support changes. The fact that we already know this is going to be overrun with bots is good because it means it's going to be active, but it's bad because it just shows that Jagex doesn't have a fucking clue. That they're not going to be able to control it. It's crazy. But does this make Castle Wars better? Yes. Does this make you possibly want to do Castle Wars more? This means we could do clan event Castle Wars and be awarded for it. Like, we can do mass Castle Wars, and it just and it means that people can get runes, ammunition, and blighted supplies for our Callisto masses. So it's not all bad. It does mean that there's content available. I don't think there's anything negative about this because bots are going to bot regardless, right? I think this is a dub for Castle Wars. It's just going to further, but like, what we should do is vote yes and then just rag on Jagex for allowing the bots to fucking play the game. Shit thing is, they said it won't be as strong as Soul Wars, so already redundant. Yeah, but Soul Wars is, I guess so. I mean, what's more fun, Castle Wars or Soul Wars? Soul Wars, I mean, Castle Wars is less cheesable than Soul Wars in terms of just like ragging the boss from behind the enemy lines. Castle Wars is more capture the flag. I mean, it just gives you a different kind of game to play. Do you prefer Castle Wars over Soul Wars, I guess is the question. Castle Wars games, I think, might be more competitive. It's a waste of time like Soul Wars. People think they want it until they have it. These minigames are absolute dog shit, trash if you want 11. This is true. I mean, like Soul Wars, you're not going to use it very often. You're going to do a little bit, then you're never going to touch it again. That is absolutely true. I haven't touched Soul Wars in a very long time, probably since Leagues 4. Soul Wars is more fun in those chill CCs, yeah. Castle Wars AFK escape, okay. Castle Wars is more fun in my opinion. However, people don't play Soul Wars for fun. Typically play it for rewards, yeah. Okay. I understand that, okay. I'm not sure how I'll vote then. I might have to think about it. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to put this in the game. It does mean there's just going to be more bots. But it is a straight buff to Castle Wars. It's not actually negatively impacting the minigame. It just means the minigame is actually functioning. I haven't touched Castle Wars since I was in middle school. Yep. Castle Wars just needs something that makes having fun there worthwhile, which would be this. Castle Wars used to be hella fun when people weren't so obsessed with efficiency. Yeah, definitely a good idea. We'll need refinement. I think if Jagex, I mean, they're not going to. We've been saying it for 10 years. Focus on their bot problem that they're so confident they have control over. I don't know. On Castle Wars World, should players be made to use the green portal only to ensure balanced teams? No, absolutely fucking not. No, that's stupid. Should games played on Castle Wars World provide an additional Castle Wars ticket for both wins and losses? Sure, why not? That means collection logs faster. I'm down for question 2 and 3 being yes, absolutely. That's cool. The less time you spend in Castle Wars, the better. Streamer Castle Wars tourney when? Well, soon. We'll organise something with AWST clan or something. No Castle Wars theme world change, non-Castle Wars theme world changes. Right, okay, so here we go. Castle Wars is 20 years old. The active Castle Wars community had been playing the minigame regularly for over a decade. I mean, the active Castle Wars community is like 30 people. Meaning many players have a fondness for changes that happened just after our initial 2007 backup for specific functionalities. They have changed in Oldschool Runescape. Before you decide your vote, we'd like to look at some of these asks. We'd like to look at some of these asks in greater depth. Okay, so on worlds that aren't Castle Wars themed, should we allow players to place barricades in front of respawn barriers? This is to mirror old behavior in 2008. So basically, should you be able to spawn trap your enemies? Place barriers in front of respawn barriers. Barricades in front of the barriers. That means to spawn trap them, right? This sounds scary, but it's not actually possible to lock someone in the spawn location. You can always make an escape by taking the longer route. Yeah, well, you can go underground. Okay. I mean, so should we allow people to grief? Sure. Why not? On worlds where that Castle Wars aren't Castle Wars themed, should we adjust the terrain as described in the blog? So we'd like to make some changes, which we originally made in 2008. In practice, this means adding some tiny walls next to the ladder and staircase outside the spawn room. Okay. These add further tactical barricade options, whether you're blocking off their flag. I mean, this is like why the fuck are we? Why are you asking the community these questions? What the fuck is this? As per the Castle Wars community, at the request of the Castle Wars community, the Castle Wars community is less than 100 people. It's got to be actively playing. Castle Wars enjoyers and Castle Wars, active Castle Wars players, are two different fucking things. There's no way. What the fuck is this? Why is this a community-wide vote? This is worse than PvP voting. So these add further tactical barricade options. If you vote no on this, it's just yeah, because fuck the Castle Wars community. Vote no the same way you'd vote no on Wilderness because you're just griefing. So why the fuck wouldn't you? Right? Polling system shouldn't exist. I mean, I think the polling system should exist. This is just what the fuck is Jagex doing? Who actually gives a shit? What? What's the next question? On worlds that aren't Castle Wars themed, should we restore the original functionality of the Dragon Spear and Zamorak and Hasta special attacks? This is mirror old behavior from before 2016. Why only on non-Castle Wars themed worlds? So they want special rules for Castle Wars worlds, and then non-Castle Wars worlds, they want to see if they want some extra rules. So they want to restore the odd functionality of the D Spear and the Z Hasta. Some of you may be wondering what the odd functionality was. In July 2016, we added a short stun and freeze immunity window to players who were hit by a special attack of these weapons. While this change is healthier for multi-combat PvP out in the wilderness, it limits some of your options as a coordinated team in Castle Wars, so we'd like to remove the immunity and let you freeze your opponent more freely. Sure, I mean, why the fuck are you asking the community at the request of the Castle Wars community? So Jagex, the JMods have gone to the Castle Wars community specifically for these requests, or they've come to them and they've taken them to the polls. This is a bit of an L poll. This might be the first quality of life L poll I've seen. I don't mind the Castle Wars changes. I like that they're touching it, but these questions are just fucking straight up dumb. Why would you have it on themed worlds but non-themed worlds? No one plays Castle Wars enough to give a shit. I'm fit to vote no on my 6 accounts because this is silly. This is gonna lead people to vote no with how how inconsistent this is. And yes, I'm gonna upload this video and I'm gonna come across quite negative about this, and that's probably gonna convince people to vote no. And to be honest, I think, you know what? Fuck it. Vote no. Vote no so that Jagex doesn't do this dumb shit again. Nitpicking minor, irrelevant, insignificant parts of the community for a whole fucking quality of life blog. Or at least half of it, you know? Vote no so they can fuck off. Grief them. I don't care. I genuinely think this is a waste of fucking time. These questions aren't bad at all. I don't mind voting yes to these. These are fine. But what this is completely this is a stupid question. This is a waste of my fucking time. Other Castle Wars changes, they got more. Should we allow players to wear their own helmets inside Castle Wars and all worlds? Yes, that's a no-brainer. Should we adjust the healing of Castle Wars bandages to mirror anglerfish? This change would impact all worlds. That sounds great, absolutely. Should we adjust the Castle Wars brew to give an additional super restore and stamina effect in Honor Worlds? Sure. Why not? That sounds excellent. Should we provide players in Castle Wars with an infinite rune pouch that offers fake XP drops? Excellent, yes, for sure. Should we wear place? Should wear place? Should we place the bucket spawn? Should we place the bucket spawn? See, they're too busy fucking speed typing. Should we place the bucket spawn with a pile of buckets inside Castle Wars on all worlds? Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Should we allow players to store Castle Wars bracelet charges in Atlantis to be used whenever a game starts, as described in the blog? What? Every chance that you never see one of these enchanted emerald bracelets because their only buff is Castle Wars. If you're wearing one at the start of the game, you do a 20% extra damage to any player carrying a flag and receive 50% more healing from bandages. Once the game starts, you're free to swap it out with another glove item, which means often get destroyed immediately to make room for bandages. Okay, so we're proposing a trade-in option for Lanthus where you can store charges for your Castle Wars bracelet and gain the buff without ever equipping the bracelet. That's cool. I think that's great. Sure. Got bitten by a wear place once, and now I turn into a place every full moon. I like that. That's funny as. That sounds like a great change for the bracelet. All right, final proposal. Should we adjust the barricade placement cap in Castle Wars? So, currently there's a maximum of 10 barricades down at any time, which means mischievous or misinformed teammates can grief you by popping all 10 of them down in a useless location. True. We'd like to experiment and allow players to place, each player to place up to 3 barricades every 5 minutes. Place a barricade, a 5-minute time begins. You can place 2 more barricades within the timer. If the barricade is destroyed, you can place another one. Once time expires, you'll be able to start placing barricades again and repeat the process. Okay, so it's anti-griefing. Sure, that sounds good. All right, so we're going to break down this Castle Wars section quickly because this is quite a bit of the blog. Basically, these non-themed Castle Wars changes are some of the dumbest, not dumb questions. I'm sure that they're quite logical and tactical for the game, but no one cares. No one is competitively playing Castle Wars to a point that it actually fucking matters or impacts the game. That these questions could probably just be like if these are on the Castle Wars themed worlds already, just make them part of Castle Wars. I feel like it's very silly, and if you guys vote no to grief, I understand and support that. If you vote no to grief PvPers, hit him with the Castle Wars. Fuck that, man. I don't know. I just think it's very silly. The rest, these are genuinely decent questions that make sense and you know are fine. But who cares about should we adjust the terrain to make it so that there's adding some tiny walls next to the ladder and staircase outside the spawn room? These add further tactical barricade options, whether you're blocking off a flag thief or holding off players chasing you down. No one's playing fucking Castle Wars. That's why we're making that's why you're encouraging people to come here with more rewards. So, how are people going to know whether that's worth their time or not? Whether it's what they want? Just do those changes. It makes sense, right? Those are changes you just fucking do. New players, quality of life, and UX improvements. Okay, so let's have a look here. Should we add crabs to the task list of Mazchna, Vanaka, and Shaladir? This aims to introduce players to them as training methods without relying on out-of-game resources. Crab tasks are non-specific, so you'll be able to choose your favourite flavour without Slayer, although Slayer Masters will share tips on where to find them. Okay. But there's Sandrock, so there's no clear in-game introduction to this popular training method. How do people know about crabs being a popular training method? It's basically word of mouth, right? Google, you wiki it. You watch a guide, you ask someone in game. Why the fuck? I mean, add it to the Slayer task list. Does this nerf the Slayer task list because now you're adding something you might want to block? Does this actually make Slayer worse for those lower level Slayer Masters? Because they just buffed them, right? So, I don't think people are oh, I don't know where to train combat. I might have to see if there's a good thing the Slayer Master gives me. That's a load of shit. The bigger question is, does adding crabs to these Slayer Master tasks make early game Slayer worse or better? Crabs will get good XP early though. I would say they might be better then, for combat wise. Are they going to, but they'll give worse Slayer XP, right? Oh no, they're actually not bad for Slayer XP. So it might actually be a good change. But this whole people don't know where to train combat, that's just, you're full of shit, whoever's writing that. Get out of here. You're worrying about the wrong things in this game. Like, honestly, I'm fine with this. Like, you could go to the catacombs and do the big king crabs too. It's a good idea. Yeah, but there's no clear in-game introduction to this popular training method. But there's very clear introductions outside of the game. Aren't even good combat XP, they're just super AFK. Well, I think that's why, right? Well, they're good at combat XP because you don't need defense. They don't hit anything, and they have a lot of HP with no defense, so you can just sit there smacking them. The bigger difference should be encouraging people to look at ammonite crabs because they drop fossils, while swamp rock and sand crabs do less. They don't drop anything that powerful, you know? Crab superior, public crab, that's it. Alright, prayer drain rate indicators. Prayers have been a hot topic following the release of Royal Titans, but in all those chats... Wait, really? Oh yeah, right, of course, because the new prayers. All those chats about drain rates and numbers, it occurred to us that this information isn't displayed anywhere in-game. As you might have guessed, we'd like to add drain rate information to the tooltips on the prayer interface. Sure, that's fine. Excellent. Cool. Skill interface summaries. Another piece of missing information is what all those skills you're training actually do. Click your stats tab and open up the hit points interface. You learn what happens when you reach 0 hit points, what all the different hit splats mean, but no information for the other skills. While it may seem obvious for woodcutting fishing, the same isn't true for attack and strength. Why don't range and mage have their own strength stats? How do you start farming? Okay. For each skill, we want to provide a brief breakdown of everything they do and cover all the fundamental information players need to get training. If you have any ideas about what... Okay, I get that, sure. It's kind of acting like the activity, what's it called? Like the activity helper at the start when you make a new account that everyone turns off. But, I mean, that can't hurt for new players. Great. Ever known there was a fairy ring near your activity of choice? Couldn't remember the code. Obviously, that's never happened to us. How embarrassing. But if it's a concern for you, you'll be happy to hear that we plan to update our map icons for visited fairy rings so you can clearly see their code. That should save you an alt tab or two. Jagex, there's this thing. It's called, hold on, I've got it here. It's called Runelight. Oh, wow, there's a lot of people. So what happens with Runelight is it actually already does that, right? So what I think, this is just a suggestion, guys. Wild suggestion. But I think maybe they should get their official client up to date and stop fucking around with Castle Wars questions. Focus on getting that client going, because these are questions, these are no-brainers. People are using Runelight. Didn't use Runelight for a full year after coming back because I thought it was still illegal. Nice. Well, Runelight's on their official website now, like there's an official link to it. I mean, this is an obvious yes vote, but like, what do you, like, this is a problem for people who are like, what, maybe on mobile, that's about it? Default setting adjustments. This one impacts new players slightly, but primarily targets those who make new accounts on tutorial. There's a step where you can learn. Let the tutor know if you're new. Yep. Let's use this response to the question to tailor some default settings. We don't have a full list right now, but example might include defaulting to the updated version of the skill guide interfaces for beginners for enabling ammo and rune pick. No, this is wrong. If you think particular options should be default, no, this is wrong, Jagex, wrong. Don't do that, stop. No, this is wrong. Okay, so this is what they're asking, okay? I've got the fix. I've already got the fix. When you make a new account, all of these settings are shit, right? Your controls are all wrong, roofs are already turned on, shift drop is turned off, okay? And Jagex wants to have default presets that everyone's going to have a different opinion on, okay? What you do is you make it so that the settings are shared across your Jagex account. If you don't have a Jagex launcher account, then you suffer. But if you have a Jagex account, share the settings across the accounts or allow them to be shared across the account, then you don't have to worry about preferences, default settings, presets. Let players customize it. Jagex account, the whole system. It is that simple. They should be able to do that. Runelight solves this with profiles as well. Exactly. But just set it up through the Jagex account system. Don't try to ask community for feedback, because some dickhead is going to be like, I like to press F10 for my inventory. And that cunt's got autism. So just Jagex account it. And if people don't have a Jagex account, then they fucking sit out. Doesn't matter. That's easy. Done. Problem solved. All right, missed changes. Forestry. Nearly done, boys. So, should we increase the frequency of forestry event spawns by 20%? Yes. Should we increase the eligibility radius by 50%? Yes. Room pouch adjustments. Okay, here we go. Some quick US touch-ups. Which should dramatically reduce the need for right-clicking, long pressing, and setting up menu entry otherwise? Okay, sure. So, as you can see the screenshot above, we've added a handy set of buttons for 1X, 5, and X and all. Okay. Sure. So, as you tweet, we won't be polling this one. Oh, you're not polling this one, but you want to poll the Castle Wars changes. This is probably the only poll 83, like the only quality of life poll that I've actually like not fully fucking loved. Jesus. Okay, no worries. Slayer Cape effect at Konar. If your Slayer Cape's effect procs at Konar, she'll offer you the same task but re-roll the location. That sucks. This is a little silly, so we'd like to ensure that if you're lucky enough to get the Cape's effect proc, then you'll receive the same monster. No, I think you should just have your account banned for using Konar at 99 Slayer unless you're going for the Hydra. I'm going to vote no for that just for the purpose of griefing. Because if you're going for Hydra, it won't actually affect you because there's only one location. Everywhere else, you deserve to be no-voted and get fucking griefed, idiot. So, oh, but the Brimstone keys. No. Absolutely voting no for that for grief purposes. Thai Farm shop and farming contract improvements. Okay, should we add seed packs as a purchasable reward from Thai Farm? This acts as tier 3 farming guild seed packs and have a small chance of providing a white lily seed. That's actually a really good idea because lily seeds are really hard to get. 1 in 90 chance from Hesperia, right? Oh, no, 1 in 9 chance on the... Yeah, from Hesperia. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea because that kind of hard locks a lot of people, specifically ironmen in farming contracts. That's actually kind of... I like that idea. I like that update. That's a good improvement. I would vote yes for that. Alright, hunter changes. Should net traps automatically reset similar to box traps? This would be a tick slower than resetting. Sure. Should bird houses automatically rebuild once dismantled, assuming you have all the requirements in your inventory? Yeah, that's kind of cool. Should players be able to hand duplicate hunter rumors uniques for additional loot sacks? Is that good, guys? I don't know if that's good. I don't do hunter rumors. I'm going to assume yes. Vote no on 18 for griefing. No. Vote no on 17 for griefing purposes. Yes. Yeah. I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah. Enchant Jury improvement. Should enchanted Jury spells always pull from the first available slot in your inventory? I don't think that matters a whole lot. You just click the one and then it starts going again, right? It just does the one that you manually click first and then it starts at the start. So, I mean, you could do that. Sure. Yeah, why not? It's a harmless change. Should we adjust the Explorer's Ring so that you can use items on it to alchemize them? Assuming you have charges available. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Yep, awesome. Chromium ingot smelting pathway. Alright, should we add a smelting pathway for the creation of chromium ingots? Ooh, okay. We last spoke about this proposed change. Let's have a look. Learn about the secrets of chromium ingot smelting from a ghost somewhere in Lassar Undercity. Bring 40 adamantite and runite bars to the blast furnace foreman, who will give you private access for 170k as long as you have level 85 smithing. If you like to make multiple ingots, you can bring multiple sets for resources. Okay, once you've got everything in the melting pot, you can sit back and enjoy chromium ingots and a chunk of smithing XP. 40 addy bars and rune bars, and that's it? And 170k? So, this method is a 750k GP, it's 5 billion GE price. So basically, you can make the... That's big. That's so cheap. No, that's way more expensive than the bars themselves. But that is it's not the price. It's the not having to kill the Whisperer or Vardavis or all the Desert Treasure 2 bosses that fuck those bosses. I mean, I'm gonna vote yes for that because I think the Chromium Ingot system is a terrible system. But there is huge griefing potential here to vote no because fuck Iron Man, and I get that, 100%. But the chromium ingot system is really bad. They should just make it 1 ingot per ring. I don't know why they're fucking around with this method, but sure, why not? This is really, really big. I think this is more than reasonable. I think 40 AD bars and 40 rune bars is almost fuck all, but also the chromium ingots aren't actually that valuable, are they? So it makes sense. The ingot system is bad. Should be 2 per ring. I think it should be 1 per ring. Like, fuck it. They chose to suffer. True. I mean, Iron Man isn't really suffering if it's the better way to play the game. But I don't think... I mean, yes, I agree, choosing to suffer, but also this is a terrible design by Jagex at the get-go. So it needs to be better regardless, I think. Ingots should drop in for your invisible rings drops. Yeah, not bad. Weapon-specific prayer penetration adjustments. Oh, no. Okay, should we implement prayer penetration on the Dragon Sword, Ancient Mason, Varrock's armor set as described in the blog? This change is more aimed at future reward space for existing meta shakeups. So, some weapon sets come with the promise of ignoring your opponent's prayer, allowing you to cut down even the most devout foes. Actually, this doesn't happen often in PvM scenarios that hasn't been possible to implement due to technical restraints. While we're developing well graphic sleeps, we took the opportunity to refactor some of our script to make prayer penetration feasible. This means that Dragon Sword, Ancient Mace, and the complete Varrock set can finally actually do what they claim. You'll find the full list of NPCs here. In the long term, this change could open up new reward space opportunities to add new layers of PvM encounters. With that in mind, we'd like to run it by you all first. I mean, so 3 completely obsolete items. No one uses the Dragon Sword. Ancient Mace is for multi-wildy griefing, and Varrock's armor set is not used anymore since the wildy boss rework. So, but it opens up potential for more PvM encounters in the future, then sure, I will vote yes for that. Awesome. Okay, so quick summary. Actually, I'll open up the poll blog in game, because that way we'll hit... What? Jesus, we got some boys here. Hold on, guys, 2 seconds. We got 109 people, and there's a 100 player limit in Cox. We're going to have a problem with people not getting into the raid, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Oh, can we not vote? Is the vote not open? My apologies. Hold on. Let me give you my quick vote now, and then we'll vote again in game when it's released. Okay. So, Castle Wars, 1, 2, and 3 vote yes. 4, 5, and 6 vote no for griefing purposes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13 vote yes. 14 vote yes. These don't seem to be getting polled at all, which is a bit silly. Forestry, 15, 16 vote yes. 17 vote no. 18, 19, 20, 20. I think everything else vote yes, right? Oh, it's dinner time. Hell yeah. Oh, you're a fucking angel. Thank you very much. Can I please get a Pepsi Max as well? Thank you. Appreciate that. So, 4, 5, and 6, and 17, was it? 4, 5, 6, 17 vote no. For griefing purposes, everything else vote yes. That's what I'm doing. Hope that helps. I just got fucking dinner too. We got homemade, from scratch, butter chicken, a bowl full of poppadoms, and a doggy here that thinks he's gonna get fed. Yeah, you can smell it, can't you? This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn! Fuck me, look at that boy. It's huge! You got a big boy.